Bad news this morning for hundreds of thousands of people in West Virginia whose drinking water was contaminated by a chemical spill. We're now learning that the spill was worse than initially believed.
Tonight, 300,000 people in West Virginia are being told to stay away from their tap water, not to use it for anything, cooking, bathing, washing, anything at all. A chemical spill in the Elk River may have contaminated the drinking water. A federal investigation has been launched into how this happened.
As residents of West Virginia line up for bottled water, many like Chase Tavares want to know why there was no state oversight of the chemical company that contaminated the local drinking water.
Just minutes ago, President Obama approved a disaster declaration for West Virginia. 9 counties are dealing with a chemical spill. It contaminated the water supply. Up to 300,000 people are being told not to touch the tap water. At least 5 were treated at a hospital.
State and federal authorities are working around the clock in Charleston, West Virginia, after a spill leaked chemicals into the Elk River.
Hundreds of thousands of citizens in West Virginia are heading into this weekend dealing with a major water emergency.
A state of emergency has been declared in West Virginia in the USA after a chemical leak into a river. Drinking water in 9 counties has been deemed unsafe.
The more rocks we picked up and looked under, the more we found.
Water is a prevalent feature in the state of West Virginia.
What we're doing is making something that could be an early warning system.
I mean, we have to be protective of that water because so much of our state, so much of our businesses, our economy depends on it. It is not just people who care about the environment. They care about the environment because of its value to the people that live here. So we have to be protective of it. And that doesn't mean saying nothing can happen around water, because again, there's so much water that's not even close to possible. But we do have to be vigilant when it comes to being protective of it. Now, what was surprising to me, and I think surprising to a lot of people, was how susceptible that water source was. So the spill occurs on the Elk River. The Elk River is a water source for that area because it's so clean. Right? And it is surrounded by a lot of dirty water. I mean, the cost of treating the Kanawha River for drinking water is exorbitant. I mean, it's so dirty you can't afford to. But the Elk River is a very clean river, one of the cleanest in the East, actually. And so you see how dependent then we have become as a state on our few really clean, productive water sources like the Elk River. And as we lose rivers and their value of drinking water and become dependent on very few, then we become very susceptible to something that would seem like to be a localized.
The chemical spill in Charleston, but it was like opening up a Pandora's box of issues about water, not just in our state, but nationwide. For us in West Virginia, having just come out of, at that time when we were first looking at developing this particular program, chemical spill. And
Trying out this little water sensor, put it inside a Gatorade bottle, and it's detecting through 2 screws in the cap of the Gatorade bottle the conductivity of the water. So conductivity of water will change depending on dissolved solids and salts in the water. So things that could be bad could be detected. Not things that aren't bad can also be detected. So that has to be investigated. So this Gatorade bottle with this little board in it that slides right in the mouth of the bottle they put it in a cinder block. The challenge was to keep it secure in the water. So they actually mounted it inside a cinder block, and they just tossed it in, and we're gonna pull it out tomorrow. It's writing every 10 minutes. It's writing the conductivity, the temperature, and the time onto a little memory chip.